Hi, welcome to Mystic Frequency. I'm Lisa, and I'll be your collective tarot reader here today on March 1st, 2026. And if you are some of my returning listeners and would like to go ahead and get, started with this reading, you're more than welcome to grab the timestamp and dive in. Now, if you are someone who is new and you clicked into this reading and found it much further down the road, don't be discouraged. There is a message here that your guides are trying to share with you today. So that way you can take this message and do whatever you want with it. And now that leads me in to the rest of my intro. Happy birthday if today is your birthday. Thank you for making it another trip around the world with us today. Always here on this channel, I want to make sure my listeners are celebrated or find something to celebrate, something you're really proud of. And if you're proud of it, I'm proud of you for being proud of whatever it is that you've been working on. And always remember, I cannot, share professional advice. The only thing I can share is personal experiences and whatever these cards are bringing out today and whatever may travel, in one ear. And then it immediately comes out. Sometimes I don't even think about what I'm saying when I say it. And if this reading starts to not, resonate, don't, try to force something to click. This could possibly be a message for someone you are close to, and your guides are using you like a radio signal, and you are more than welcome to share this reading with them if you feel like it'll give them a boost. It'll make them feel supported and encouraged, and gives them an opportunity to look at their life as well. And the only other thing you can do with this reading, if it doesn't sound like anyone, just close it like a book and put it on a shelf. And if you ever come across, this energy, you know what to do with it. And you'll be much more successful having the manual with you and you being the tool to set everything in motion. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with our reading today. So let's go ahead and break the ice with this crystal that is here. Now, this is sulfur. So volcanic, progress, and then are its keywords. Sourced from volcanic areas, sulfur is an excellent companion for bottled up emotions that can manifest as skin conditions, fevers, and emotional outbursts. Sulfur has a negative electrical charge, allowing it to absorb toxicity and destruction from your surroundings. Sulfur also brings to light the natural disasters in your personal landscape, highlighting your shadows in order to clear the path for renewal. This opens up awareness of triggers that can cause eruptions, placing consciousness in action, with Sun being in Leo. So I love this card. And here's why I love this card. I love this card because it's basically saying that we all have these Yellowstone hidden emotions within us. And it is so important to pay attention to those tremors we may feel, or, how long has it been since we've had a period of release where we can, notice what we have been carrying. Things can get real heavy if we don't address, all the baggage that just tends to pile up on us. So go ahead and do an awareness check today. Have you had a good cry? Have you been in contact with your family, your friends, anybody that you're really close to? And maybe you just need to open up and, socialize a bit. That's what I'm getting from this, at least, is check in. Are there areas of your life that you feel are about to have an eruption? Whether that be a celebration that's going on, or even, maybe there's a friend that has a lot going on in their life and they need someone to kind of like pinpoint, what are the tremors telling us? Are we about to reach a level 7 where someone's world is completely falling apart on them? Or maybe we can go ahead and start making preparations so that way we can limit any kind of damage that may come from, heated words, or when we don't think about things that need to be, well organized, if you will. But this is offering a spotlight that you can look at and maybe find a support group while you are standing out and not on the stage yet. Because this is what this is saying, is there's something deep within the surface. And you can either put a spotlight on it now and address it, or you can wait till it becomes the main attraction. If you know what I'm saying, I'm just going to leave it there. But your self-care, self-love oracle for today is say one loving affirmation to yourself. You deserve it. You deserve to feel good things. You deserve to be able to look at yourself in your reflection and believe that you're successful, that, life is working with you and not against you. And whatever's been bubbling within this, think about what that bubble is and how you can pop, all that tension and pressure by just acknowledge yourself, and, give yourself the validation that you deserve and that you need. Your divine, feminine, and masculine oracle is you're being overprotective of something, someone, or situation. Being protective. Maybe if you have someone who is, this is what I'm getting from this energy, from this card, is it's basically telling me you can see when someone is about to walk off a cliff. But it's like if you try to approach the situation, could potentially make it volatile, if you will. Especially if you have a loved one that's like, stop trying to, this is different for me, and I need you to just trust that it's different. And you're like, oh Lord, this is going to affect me. That's the thing, is what I'm getting here, is whatever someone else is doing, it affects you 10 times worse. So, you want to protect the things you love. You want to protect the things that you have and not worry that someone's going to come in here and destroy all the hard work or make you feel as if you need to completely change the landscape, if you will. But something you are clinging to, something that may not have been giving you the protection that you need, that is one thing you can put a spotlight in your life, is like, what is not a symbiotic relationship with me any longer, that no longer, has a purpose. Your moonology is surrender to the divine. Let go of any kind of control that you're trying to control right now, because this card is saying that you've already been monitoring quite a bit in your life. But this is something that you should let your divine spirits really come in and take care of for you. So you can relax and think about all the things that you do have in your life that you really do love and bring love out from within you. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about the energies that are down here. So we have Neptune in Libra in the 11th house. So one thing about these cards, the big message here is prioritize bringing more harmony, beauty, and fairness into your social circles. If you have been surrounded by people who, kind of require you to have this hard shell, because I'm looking at this turtle down below, but it's like you have to have this hard shell to protect all of this, the softness that you have within you. And when things get a little bit, crazy or hectic or too good to be true, you kind of like retreat inside your shell. But your guides want you to start thinking about what you are wanting to grow and build that can provide that sense of, long-term fulfillment in your life that you actually want to build and cultivate within you. And so bringing peace and justice to your world is going to help you with your relationships with others, seeing a need within your own community and aligning, if you care about something, think about those who have a passion for the things that you care about or what you want to support even. What else? This energy is something like if you haven't had a whole bunch of friends, you're getting leveled up with a whole bunch of friends. Like these are fated friendships that this card can talk about in House 11 is friends, like-minded groups, having a common humanitarian belief that we want to support. But you may find someone who is just as mutually supportive of the causes that you care about. And, when you discover what causes, your timer to tick, when you have something boiling underneath the surface, one thing you can do is see if you are the one that's being overly accommodating, or if you start to lose your own sense of identity because you want to identify with something, identify with a cause, identify with a particular group. It's like, how do I get in this group? And when I pulled this card today, it made me think of Aladdin. Like, how do I win the favor of someone? It's like he has this paternal father energy that's in this background, and it's like, how can I win this father's approval almost? So it's like, maybe if I was rich, maybe if I was successful, maybe if I had a connection to this person in my childhood. But look to what you're trying to identify with, and if you have high standards with things around you. It's good to have standards. But if the group you are in have a standard that is unconventional, it's not practical, and doesn't bring harmony to your life, then I would remove yourself and, find the ones that are meant for you to be around. But this is a positive reading. I will say that. If it didn't seem like it was a positive reading, it is, because we have the Six of Cups, the King of Coins, and the Nine of Cups upright. And so there's a lot of wealth. There's a lot of reminiscing, is what I'm going to say, is nostalgia, thinking about how did I get to this point? What helped me get here? And sometimes it's building a legacy with your friends or the people you grew up with in your neighborhood or whoever you connected to at a very young age. Now, the Six of Cups is wanting you to continue to discover the relationships that you valued and honored in your childhood, and see if you can find people that were just like that for you in this present moment. If there's something you are wanting to build, your guides are saying, look to someone that you may have grown up with. That is one thing that is coming to my mind. Or someone this makes me think of class reunions, or, you bumping into a really close buddy of yours, or, someone you were very, you cherish quite a bit is what I'm getting. But either you are the King of Coins coming in here and just people are like, oh, wow. When we were just kids out in the yard or, down the neighborhood, we never thought, where our life was going to take us. And, people maybe even viewing you as being the most successful, the most influential person. So it's bringing a lot of spotlight on you. And this may make you feel like a shy turtle where you kind of like need to go within your shell when you are successful and you have everything you need. But with the Six of Cups, you may even find that you're going to be around children a lot more. And even though you may be this King of Coins and may not think that you're young enough to be, getting down on the ground, opening up a coloring book and, playing with others, that may be the best thing you could do for your energy. So that way, and honestly, this would open up. This is someone who is good with kids. This is someone who is able to match anyone's kind of energy or wherever they may find themselves in, whatever level of their life. This is someone who's very successful. I know I keep bouncing all over the place, but there's a lot of different messages that are coming in here from, the people you socialize with, the people that are successful, the people that inspire you to be just as successful. But this King of Coins has discipline. They have abundance, and they generate their self-worth in what has been accumulated and that they can share with others. They like to map out their plans. So whatever you are trying to map out or focus on, one of the things you can do is take advantage on what could be moving underneath the surface. But be thankful for the things that you have in your life. I mean, especially if you did have a really good upbringing, a good childhood, you had a mentor in your life, and, there are people around you that want to share and help you receive just as much love as you pour into, the love that you give others. But there's 3 cups on the background over here. So these are friendships. These are people that you can celebrate with that don't limit your opportunities, that actually provide opportunities in your life, just as you do with them as well. And then the affirmations we have underneath each card is, I am valuable. Yes, even in your childhood, you were very valuable. You are very powerful. With the King of Coins, you can move mountains. I mean, he's a turtle. He looks like a mountain, but he is able to move mountains, move trees. I am beautiful. You're beautiful, you're abundant, and you're very valuable. These are affirmations that you can say to yourself that are very loving. But I know this is a very short reading, but I'm trying to currently create another pick-a-pile reading before the 3rd, and I'm under a major crunch. But guys, today, here's what the main, if I can sum this all up for you, is, check to see where your emotions are running right now. Think about any unresolved issues you may have had in your early childhood. What are your expectations or standards or the things that you place on yourself versus what others try to place on you? So that way you can continue to be this King of Pentacles upright, or see if there are people around you that can really help you build this sense of, emotional fulfillment. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here. If you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how it resonates, guys. I'm always curious about that. But y'all have a blessed day.